All right, guys, back here on the Team 980. While last night was not fun, football season is still here. From tailgates to home gates in the backyard, fans across the country are gearing up to cheer on their favorite team with food, friends, and fun. Here to share some tips is great former NFL star Merrill Hoge. Nice enough to join us. Merrill, thank you much for joining us right here on the Team 980. I can see you. You got, man, an amazing spread. You look like you're having a great Friday.
Well, Chris, we got some options for you, my friend, that I think will make any game day better for you. In fact, if you like cigars, the Boveda Humidor is a must on game day. Boveda is perfect for cigar storage. Get the Boveda Humidor with a patent two-way humidor or humidity control and sleek design for just $2.99. It requires no maintenance, unlike conventional humidors. The humidor comes with a one-time seasoning to get you going for the first 6 months and comes with an auto replenishing option. I know you can't see it, but it is sleek, beautiful, and easy to use. And Hellman's, the reason people come to the game day is what? Obviously for the snacks. You got to have a great dip, and it's critical, like the Hellman's Disappearing Buffalo Chicken Dip. The secret ingredient is Hellman's mayonnaise. Get the recipe at hellmans.com. Here's where Hellman's stands out from the others. Hellman's does not get oily or separate. It holds up through the heat and the time. It's craveable from kickoff to the final snap. And Borden cheese, you got to add some comfort food. That unites us all. A fan favorite, make your own grilled cheese bar. Add things like meat, onions, avocados. The key is to be creative. And a recent grilled cheese survey showed 1 in 4 Americans prefer using mayonnaise instead of butter for grilled cheese crust. In our room, it was 2 for 2. All right, who does not like a grilled cheese with Borden American cheese melts? Or add Borden jalapeno. It's better with Borden. And then you got to watch the game. I mean, let's be honest, that's another big part of it. The LG OLED line, TVs up to 83 inches. The one we have here is 48, and that is big enough. So great options. And then the secret play of the day, ice cream cake. Carvel Game Ball Cake. Get your ice cream cake at local stores or go to iloveicecreamcakes.com. So there you have it. If you put all these options together, people are going to love your place. And then the game is kind of a bonus, but we hope that's a good game too.
Yeah, Merrill, you got an amazing spread there. I mean, the Hellmans, the Carvel. Like, I feel like a kid again, right? I grew up on Carvel on Long Island, so I know
Yeah.
all about Carvel.
Okay.
I'm going to get one of the cigars from my guy Rick Doc Walker, who you might know from the an extension to the old Hogs, right?
Yeah.
In Washington. Doc loves his cigars, so I'm going to get him one of those. And again, Hellmans and Buffalo Chicken Dip. It's all speaking my love language. Now, what isn't speaking my love language is a bad football game, right? And I'm here in Washington D.C. I know you. I know. We chatted for a moment before we started doing this. It is early September. You are going to get some uneven performances, but my goodness, Merrill, the Washington Commanders were dominated on Thursday night, and maybe that just speaks to how good the Green Bay Packers are.
Well, that's what I think it speaks more to is where the Packers are and how good they are. They're a seasoned team. A lot of the real critical components of the team. They had Micah, and that's obviously been instrumental in their defense, the impact that he has made. But you got to remember that your team is new, and what people forget is what happens in the offseason. These coaches from, say, the Giants and in the division and the Packers, they don't go to the beach. The coaching staff doesn't go to the beach and sip on margaritas until the season starts. I'm telling you, I mean, because I've lived all of these different layers of experience. That's what they do in the offseason, and they are breaking down the Washington Commanders and how they play. Because see, in a way, the Commanders caught everybody off guard. Okay, did they know how Jaden was going to play? Did they know how the new system would be put together? How they would look? Well, you only have like 48 hours to get ready for an opponent, during the season, whereas the offseason, you have months to look at an opponent. You get to really break down the depths and the things that you got to do to be effective against them. And so they have to grow from that too. Now, that doesn't mean, that the Commanders can't grow from that. They're going to grow too. But, that's what makes it, I think, a little different from last year to this year is they're seeing things now they didn't probably see last year, and they're going to have to adjust to that and grow from that. But I wouldn't be completely down. You're 1-1. if you're playing great football now, to maintain that is not an easy thing to do because you want to be really playing great football coming, end of November, early December. So they still have chances to do that. They didn't look terrible, and they were on the road and short week. And the Packers are one of the most elite teams in football right now.
No, you're absolutely right. The great Merrill Hoge is with us right here on the Team 980 as we rewind a little bit, of course, on last night's game. Get you set for your tailgate spreads. Hellman's, Carvel, you got board and sheet, right? You just got it all that you guys want to get this weekend, whether it's college football, Maryland hosting Towson in College Park Saturday, and, of course, wherever you might be on Sunday for an NFL tailgate. I know you won't be at Northwest Stadium because, again, the Commanders lost at Green Bay on Thursday night. Speaking of which, and I can't remember from your playing career, did you play Thursday night games or was that too
Um,
early? And what is that like? I talked to London Fletcher the other day, and he said, when I was earlier in my career, it was no problem at all. I was young, bouncy, spry, what have you. Towards the end of the career, I couldn't even get ready. I couldn't get my mind mentally ready, never mind my body physically ready.
Yeah. Well, we know Thursday night games were not a part of the scheduling, but
Right.
Thanksgiving was. And we
Yeah.
played the Cowboys one Thanksgiving. And there's I think it's different for box players than it is perimeter players.
Hmm.
I mean, what I mean by that, like anybody who plays in the box, it's more physical there. And that turnover or that short week makes it harder versus a wide receiver, corners, a quarterback, those guys. It's easier for them
Hmm.
than the box players, as is what I experienced from doing a Thursday night game. But it's not easy. But it's the team that can really put that aside and get ready in a short period of time with a game plan and physically that does have the advantage on a Thursday night. And I actually think it would be easier playing a Thursday night game early in the season than later in the season. So I
I
think the
agree.
people who do it in the early in the year, it's really at an advantage.
I agree, no doubt about it. Merrill Hoge with us. You mentioned Jaden Daniels and in his second year, and Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan used to tell me, Sean McVay, and all these great coaches that came here out of Washington that I was lucky enough to work with say the growth from a quarterback year one to year two is astronomical. But you countered by saying, hey, these defensive coordinators, they're not sitting at the beach drinking margaritas. They're countering, and they know this, and they're working all summer when the players technically have off. So, how do you kind of balance the growth normally of a quarterback and any player year one to year two with what you said, Merrill?
Well, just what okay, they've got 2 weeks of evidence now. I'm sure they've seen stuff that they didn't see last year. Because that's what teams do. That's why they study so hard. So you've got to counter that and help your quarterback, whatever that is. So that's why I think the month of September is always mixed. You can learn a lot from September, things that you're going to see throughout the year that you can get better at, that you maybe struggled with earlier, and help your quarterback a little better. One thing, like I just watched the game, haven't studied it on tape, and that's really the only way you can truly make a fair evaluation. TV lies, highlights really lie. And I didn't study them in the first week either. So, but what appeared is they're not quite as dominant in their running game as they were
Mm-hmm.
last year. And that's I think when you're looking at any type of struggles, I don't care who the quarterback is. I remember when Tom Brady they went to Kansas City on a Monday night early in the year. Kansas City thumped them. I think they were 2-2, and everybody rolled them off. Cincinnati's coming to New England to play. It's a Sunday night game or Monday, whatever it was. And the Bengals were 4-0. And based on the tape study, you were like, okay, the Patriots, they really got no chance to win this game. Then they showed up, and here's what they did. They ran two tight ends, I formation. They ran the football like you would not believe, and they threw run action off of it. Tom Brady looked like he was a rookie from rookie design. Okay, and he's like his 12th year, 13th year. They ended up winning the Super Bowl this year, by the way. But what it did is it reset their
Yeah.
offense. It reestablished the thing that you have to do consistently. Like they started controlling the tempo of the game. They started to dictate, good short seconds and shorts, third and shorts. They managed the game better. They got back on track, and then they started to open things up. I mean, oftentimes you got to look at, I'm sure Washington will look at it. Okay, how can we be more committed there so that we control the tempo of the game better than we have been controlling it, especially
No
against the
doubt.
Packers.
No doubt. I remember that game. I remember that sequence, and I remember exactly what you're talking about. Merrill Hoge on it as usual. We got to run, but again, make sure for your tailgates, guys, this weekend. Carvel, Hellman's, mayonnaise, board and cheese. What else you got there?
You got there, you go to
Yeah,
bovadahumidor.com. And I mean, that honestly, that humidor is a big deal, man.
yeah.
I love them. I just know enough about cigars to be dangerous, but I know this humidors are a big deal. And this one is simple and clean and awesome. And then hellmans.com, boardandcheese.com, and lg.com. And I love icecreamcakes.com. If you get all that, you're going to have the perfect party. And now it's up to the teams to have a great game.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Have a great weekend, Merrill. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate you.
Anytime, Chris. Take care,
All
bud.
right, you got it.